Welcome to Project Kelly. I'm going to show you how to do a cat eye eyeliner, and with my client today I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit more bohemian too. So what I'm going to do is start with some pretty gold colors. She's already expressed to me that she likes gold, and that's really important to be able to listen to your client and see what colors they do prefer on themselves. So I'm going to take some gold and I'm going to tap it right on her lid. I've already done her makeup, so this is just really getting the cat eye on there. Our inspiration is a little bit bohemian, a little bit 60s makeup, so that's why we're using some of the gold, and we're gonna do a little bit of shadow on there too. And gold is one of my favorite colors to use on people because it really warms up the skin and it is very pretty. It causes a nice pop color on the eye. So if you notice, I like to tap it on the lid, and then when it gets to right about here, I want to blend it in. I don't want you to see where I started the makeup or where I stopped the makeup. So I'm gonna have my client go ahead and open her eyes. As you see how that gold is warming her up, it's bringing some of that amber and some of that yellow and honey out of her eye color. So next, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of contouring on the brow bone. All makeup essentially is contouring, so when people ask me about how to do contour makeup, it's a little hard sometimes to explain. All right, so I've got a nice blender brush, and I'm gonna take a flat brown color, which I often use because it's a nice neutral color to use. Get my brush in there, tap some of that off, and really start gently. I don't want to start at the very end, and I don't want to start here. I want to start right about there because I want the highest deposit of color to be there. And in a windshield wiper motion, I can go back and forth, applying the slightest bit of pressure. You can also control the amount of makeup you put on her through the pressure that you use. And if you notice, I'm more of a fan of working up and in rather than out, especially when I get to these areas. And I can go ahead and blend some of that into the gold. So go ahead and open your eyes. So you see that's creating depth. It's creating a sultry look for her also. Now do the same with this eye. Now the thing about doing cat eye eyeliner is you have to take your time. There's so much steadiness of the hand that is required, and also you have to make sure that both of them are even. And that sometimes can prove to be a challenge, even for myself. It takes a long time to get it right because I like to step back, maybe take a picture, have them close their eyes, and really gauge the evenness of both of them. Doing it on myself is a different story. I can do that. I can sit there in the mirror all day long and get it even, but doing it on somebody else is a little bit more challenging because you're not familiar with the symmetry of their face or the lack thereof. Okay, go ahead and open. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with it. This one may need a little bit more. And now we'll move on to the eyeliner. What you need is, today I'm gonna use gel liner, and I'm gonna use two different brushes. I'm gonna use a small tapered brush and an eyeliner definer brush. I'll start with my small tapered brush and I'll coat it. And you notice I don't really stab it in. I want it coated around because I don't want a bunch of little parts hanging off the edges to where it breaks off and goes in areas I don't want. So what I want to do is start in the center, pull the brow up, and really just start by creating one simple line. This is going to help determine which way I want to go. I have her open her eyes, and I take a look at how that already is shaping the eye. So I know at this point, should I go thicker in the inner corners, thicker in the outer corners? So this is gonna start helping me like a roadmap. At this point, I wanna start creating my tail. pull up, and really careful right around this part, because this is essentially what gives you that cat eye look. And I like to bring it in also. Okay, go ahead and open. So I'm already really liking the way it's looking on her. I'm lucky because my client already has that cat eye shape to her. So this is just gonna make it prettier. And beforehand, Kelly and I had already discussed that she likes the cat eye to be a little bit more dramatic. And that's really important. Consult with your client, discuss what they want. Your visions aren't always going to meet completely in the middle, but it's nice to have a bit of a map on where you can go to bring your client's vision to life. Okay, so there's that one. I really like it, but now my challenge is to get that eye to look like this eye. What I want to do now is I stop and I hand my client a mirror so that she can take a look at herself and see if she likes the thickness. So go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
great.
So now the real challenge begins. Make the other side the same. This is what might take you longer. Or sometimes you might just get it right on the first try. Another tricky thing about cat eye is everyone's eye shape is different. So you can't do what you do on your eye on someone else's. So it's really about put a little bit on, step back and look. Okay, open. So now I'm gonna step in front of the camera so I can see it. All right. And then here's a trick that I've talked to you guys about before. You take your brush, you hold it right about here. Have your client look at the brush and bring her eye line down. This helps you see from every perspective if there's any part of the liner that has a dip or it's crooked, and you can go in and fix it. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. What I want to go in and do now is show you if you can't get your line straight, here's a fun little trick. You take black eyeshadow and your eyeliner definer brush, and you only want to use a little because it's possible, especially if they have oily lids, that it gets on top of the lid. And what I want to do is kind of pack that in and straighten it right there. Because this is a powder and not a gel, it's a little easier for me to control. And as you see, we're getting that really straight. And that is really the trick to this, is make sure you've got your lines clean. Especially if the eyeliner is the star of your makeup, it's the star of your show. Okay, go ahead and open. And then look right about here. I think that one is a little thicker, which happens to me a lot. Go ahead and close. So I can just place my brush right there and bring that down to create one more line. Now here's a fun little trick. If you want to go ahead and get that even cleaner and even straighter, I'm going to take a sponge that I've cut so that it's nice and sharp, and I'm going to throw some eye makeup remover on that. After doing so, I want to make sure I don't have too much excess on there because I don't want it to drip down her face. Go ahead and close. I grab her eye right there, place it underneath that line, and I bring it in. And that is going to give me that smooth, clean edge. Now, what to do with that area that we wiped off? No problem. You grab your brush that you were using for your concealer or your foundation earlier. You just want it small enough so that you can control it in your hands. And you place it right there. I like to tap and then bring it in. And if you notice, if you're watching at home, what happens is there's a beautiful light and dark contrast that we're now creating. And it's clean. And then right there, I'm not in love with that line. It's okay, you just go in and erase. And you do the same with the other side. Could you turn your head that way? Tap. And close. And open. Look up. And then face forward. It's a lot of instructions for her today. So from here, what I want to do is make sure that makeup doesn't run. So I'm going to grab a clean sponge. And I use a lot of sponges when I work. I just found throughout the years, they help. I really love them. I'm gonna pack that on to some translucent powder. The reason I use translucent powder is because I don't want any color added to what I've already put on. I have her look up, put my hand under the client's chin to protect her clothes. Pack that in. This is gonna prevent that from running. Bring your chin down. And I can always go into the T-zone. Make sure I get any of that shine. And shine isn't always necessarily bad. You just want to make sure that it's more dewy than it is shiny. And then I'm just gonna get rid of some of that excess right there. And then hand my client a mirror to get her approval because the job's not done until she's happy.
That's awesome.
That's the way you wanted it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Really good.
Thank you for watching.